So one thing through these through this course, I feel like one thing I learned or wanted to explore was I wanted to explore and learn more where the indigenous practices, getting to hear, the stories of the indigenous gods, native gods. I feel like I've I don't know, it's something I've wanted to explore to see if anything down my familia has been heard of or some way to hear back from stories. I was talking about it with my mom. I wasn't able to have the chance to interview her, but this was before the interviews started. But because my mom has had a always it's something that I've connected to indigenous practices or I've started to connect it to, but my mom doesn't know how she when I asked her if she knew if she had any indigenous ties, she mentioned she didn't know. But one of the first things she told me was that well, it's always been a thing ever since que era niña, que mi mamá cuando sueña en blanco, like when she dreams in white, she the next morning and during the day she finds out that somebody passes away. Um, for her, that's always been a scary thing. I don't think she's because when she wakes, like I could tell something's off. She like her mood's completely changed. I'm like, ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? And she won't tell me until after like she gets a phone call or sees on like online. And I'm like, somebody passed away, didn't they? She's like, yeah. I'm like, and sometimes when she sees a face in the dreams, it's somebody connected to that face really closely, like some ties, whether we may know them or not, but they're somehow related to somebody we know, but if she doesn't see a face, she doesn't know them. And the only time she didn't dream in white were for mi abuelito Jose, her dad, and mi abuelita Emilia, my dad's mom. Those were the only days she didn't dream in white. Like she's like, I don't remember anything that I dreamt. And like usually she still remembers like some fragments. It's like I don't remember anything. It's like her blocking out or like because they're important people to our lives. And but yeah, because I remember even like I was 15, we were trying to ask one of my old friends from like elementary school to be my chambelán, but his mom was like, I don't think he'll be up to it. His dad recently passed away of cancer. And so mom tells me later that day, she's like, "Oh, should let me know." And then she's like it's strange because I had a dream and I was worried about you or one of your friends. I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "So you were in a quinceañera, the damas were wearing pink, and the quinceañera was wearing blanco. It was your friend Clarissa." I was like, "Why Clarissa?" She's like, "Didn't she like date him, like him, your friend?" I'm like, yeah, like, well, your friend's dad passed away. So it could be such a random connection, but she does that. And so I asked her during spring break, like, do we know, like, do you know? She's like, I can't, like, date back. But she told me something I never knew about my abuelita. So my abuelita has always been deemed like la loca del pueblo. Like, there's just so many things and like her family story behind that. It was the point where my mom had to take care of my younger brother. My abuelita had to act as both a mother and father, and but my abuelita was there physically present, but not mentally present. So my mom was like, I never talked about this because again, it would associate her to like the whole idea of her being loca. But she was letting me know that my abuelita was curaba la gente. I was like, what do you mean, ma? I'm like, it's like, yeah, like people would come to her and like if they're really ill, lo curaban. But obviously, she's like, oh, like, and my mom, and I'm just like, mom, that's indigenous practices. She's like, no es en de la religión. I was like, so like the whole conceptions of like how like my mom ties it to like the Catholic religion, but like mom, those are like very indigenous practices. Like those are like very like things to explore. And so I feel like that's something I want to investigate. I know last semester I had an assignment with Doctora Cruz about interviewing our interviewing our family members and like getting more family history and more family ties. And I wasn't able to explore like lineage wise. I was able to interview my mom, my tío about the experience of my abuela, but I feel like now I want to see how far back I can go if I can find any records in regards to my family history, and see if there's any connection to the indigenous tribes in the region of Durango, Mexico. So that's a journey I want to start, and I feel like the reason I want to start it is due to just the I find a lot of comfort whenever we go over like um the cuentos, the stories, and hearing the stories of our compañeros. Like for me, it's very comforting, and I just want to keep on going back and seeing what I can find out. And I feel like one of the readings that kind of stood out to me was Voices from the Ancestors, and just having those moments and like reclaiming space. And one of the other readings that really stood out to me was the Abrazos de Conocimientos across the generations. I'm at a time where my abuelita can't remember a lot of things anymore. But seeing the portrayal of many generations talking together and experiences to me was so opening to see that I feel like I want to practice that. I want to I want to start that tradition where we all come down and sit and express without any judgment. So I want to keep on doing that and figure out ways on how to practice that.